verdict was reached late last night after nearly 8 hours of deliberation. 36-year-old Sandra Kalalu was a tenant in the Rogers Park building where Chicago police found her landlord's body. 63-year-old Frances Walker was stuffed in a freezer. Police say Walker tried numerous times to evict Kalalu.
A woman convicted of murdering her landlord and stuffing the body in a freezer has been sentenced to more than 50 years behind bars.
WGN's Julian Cruz is covering the case for us. He's live at the Cook County Criminal Courts building with the latest on today's sentencing. Julian?
Well, Ben and Lord of Chicago police back in 2022 finding Frances Walker's dismembered body in a freezer, a kitchen freezer, and the manner of her death so painful to her family, and they spoke out in today's emotional sentencing.
Judge for mercy, but she did not give my sister any mercy.
Frances Walker's sister and other loved ones at the Layton Criminal Courts building.
It's just extra sad that it was like one of the best people that I knew in my life.
Arnold Walker among those in court today delivering a victim impact statement.
She had no enemies, as I said before.
The late Frances Walker, beloved by multitudes of people through the decades, the skilled organist performing at weddings, first communions, and funerals.
There is no courtroom big enough for all the people who knew and loved Fran.
On the 5900 block of North Washington, on Chicago's far north side, Walker opening a boarding house for single women where she tried to evict Sandra Kalalu, that boarding house in October of 2022, where police later found Walker's dismembered body parts, minus the torso. Prosecutors alleging Kalalu dumped it in the lake. In April, a jury convicting Kalalu on first-degree murder, dismemberment charges, and aggravated identity theft. Before the sentencing in court today, Kalalu standing to address Walker's family. I would like to send my condolences to Fran's family, she says. I understand a jury found me legally liable for murder, but I did not commit this crime. With God as my witness, I never harmed Fran. Judge Ursula Wolowski in her sentencing telling the court that the evidence in this case was, quote, very substantial, but Kalalu's attorneys say that they will appeal her case, among other things, alleging that the police investigation into the matter was flawed. At the Criminal Courts building, Julian Cruz, WGN News.
Okay, going on what that reporter had said. The police investigation was flawed? In what way? Because a black person's on trial for murder, that's how come the police investigation's automatically flawed? Or is her attorney trying to say that they planted evidence against this black lady? That's very common in the black community too. And I will still stand by what I say, that black people think they can do what they want and get away with it. Because it's automatically racist for the cops to come after them for any reason at all. Because you black people are not exactly changing my mind. So how is this police investigation flawed? I would really love to know that. Hello, welcome back to the Dad and Daughter podcast channel right here on YouTube. I'm Dad. How's your day going? I did put some clips in the beginning. News about this lady here. She basically is maintaining her innocence on killing her landlord because she got served eviction papers, but she says she's innocent, wouldn't harm her, blah blah blah. But I find it quite quaint that the landlord winds up dead after this lady here gets served eviction papers. Find that quite odd, but yet, yeah, she's innocent. Anyway, Chicago woman gets 58 years in prison after she dismembered her landlord following an eviction notice. The sentencing comes nearly after 3 months after Sandra Kalalu was convicted of first-degree murder for the October 2022 death of Frances Walker. Like I said, she says she's innocent. Yeah, I don't believe it. That was a screenshot, sorry. A Chicago woman has been sentenced to 58 years in prison after being found guilty of killing and dismembering her landlord. According to WGN-TV, CBS Chicago, and the Chicago Tribune, Cook County Judge Ursula Wolowski sentenced Sandra Kalalu on Wednesday, July 10th, nearly 3 months after she was convicted of first-degree murder for the October 2022 death of a 69-year-old Frances Walker. During the sentencing, Wolowski called Walker's death something out of a horror movie, telling Kalalu, "The nature and circumstances of this case are quite aggravating. For a human being to do this to another human being," per the Chicago Tribune. And this is Miss Walker right here. She had opened not a halfway house, a boarding house or something like that for single women. In other stories that I did read, Walker was trying to, for a while, evict Kalalu, Sandra here. Well, it finally happened, and now Walker is dead. Yeah, I don't believe Sandra is innocent. Wolowski sentenced Kalalu to 50 years in prison for the murder of Walker, 6 years for the dismemberment, and 2 years for aggravated identity theft. The outlets reported Kalalu's attorney plans to appeal the decision per the Chicago Tribune. Yeah, have fun with that, attorney guy or person, whoever the hell you are, because if there's evidence that says Kalalu did do this, yeah, have fun with that one. Besides, why do guilty people always say they're innocent? Because they think they can do whatever they want? What? Like I said, no one's exactly changing my mind on a lot of things. WGN-TV reported that Kalalu maintained her innocence during the sentencing, telling the court, "I understand the jury found me legally liable for murder, but I did not commit this crime. With God as my witness, I never harmed Fran." If only that saying, if I'm lying, I'm dying, or may God strike me where I stand, if only actually those were true and actually happened. How many people would die right now? How many people would be dead right now? I can guarantee it'd be half the population of the USA. Maybe half the world. The court session included statements from members of Walker's family, including her niece, Katrina Lee Walker, who said her aunt's death caused her to be withdrawn from her social life. "I couldn't be where happiness was. People were moving around me, but I couldn't bring myself to move," she said, per the Chicago Tribune. Walker's dismembered remains, including her head and limbs, were found in a freezer in a home they shared in the neighborhood of Arcadia Terrace. Police made the discovery after other tenants heard screams in the middle of the night after being unable to locate Walker. Based upon the totality of the evidence, the detectives believe the crime actually occurred in the victim's bedroom, and then they do believe that the dismemberment took place on the first floor of that residence. Chicago Police Chief of Detectives Brendan Denihan said during a previous press conference. Denihan added that Walker's death had occurred after she recently served Kalalu with eviction notice. In her obituary, Walker is remembered as a talented pianist and organist. Fran was a devoted Catholic who respected all religions, which was kind of shocking to me to read that exact line, because not a lot of Catholic, if you're not Catholic, they don't want anything to do with you. Or at least the ones I keep running into. She was kind, caring, positive, and spunky, the obituary added. Yep, that'd be the end. Okay, yeah, I mean, I really find it hard that this attorney is actually going to get this overturned or anything like that because of the evidence. I mean, Walker was alive. She serves Sandra, however it's pronounced, with eviction papers and winds up dead. But yet Sandra says she didn't do it. Yeah, what's not vibing there? Exactly, what is not vibing there? So yeah, bye-bye. Anyways, yeah, that's just freaking crazy. I mean, I can understand someone being, getting royally upset, because I would be. But take it with a grain of salt. Be an adult about it. Just, take your punishment. Whatever. You don't have the right to kill somebody over crap like this. But anyways, I'm going to end the video here. You guys take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.